Today I'm going to be learning about Dutch stereotypes. This is truth or myth. Dutch react to stereotypes. So yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really know too many Dutch stereotypes. I guess just that people are very tall. I don't know if that's a stereotype more than just it's a fact. Obviously being being the tallest country in the world by average size. I guess about the Dutch directness might come up. That's something I've learned about through this channel. So interested to know what other stereotypes there are. Tell me if there's any stereotypes you think are truthful or are overblown with regards to people in the Netherlands or about the country itself. Let's watch this and we can find out some more.
I think I've lost a bit of my directness by living abroad, but well, how about you?
Well, I lost some friends while living abroad.
I hope not, but I'm afraid so.
Dutch are very, very direct. And
Very straight to the point.
yeah, I don't know, we just say what we think to people.
For my idea, it's always good to just be direct. Like, it would be way more efficient.
Directness, yes. That's definitely a thing. I noticed this when I had to work in the UK. There, if you get feedback, it's like, oh, that's excellent, I really love it, that's amazing, but maybe we could take it into a slightly different direction. In the Netherlands, you would just say, that's really bad, we should fix this, this is awful.
They say they have the best day ever and they had the best coffee in the world, and we're just like, oh yeah, we had a good day, and just...
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
To make things better or seem better than they actually are.
I like it, but I'm Dutch, so yeah.
It may seem rude, but it's actually, it's nice, because people know where they stand.
People are direct and they're like honest with me, I can better handle that.
Okay, 57% of people say that's the truth. Do you agree? Do you know anybody that's just not direct who's Dutch? As I said, I really just learned about it through this channel. I've watched quite a few videos on the subject. I find it very interesting because it's so different being from the UK, so as that guy mentioned, so different from our personality. But the more I learn about it, the more I think it's the best way to be, whether it's being honest with your friends or whether it's just getting straight to the point in the workplace, not wasting time, just getting results quicker. I love it.
You're the tall one.
You're the blonde one, and you have the blue eyes.
Yeah.
So we have
all.
Yes.
Yeah, but we are not.
Very true.
We drink so much milk.
Can I stand up as well?
Yes.
Maybe I'm a bit taller, I'm not sure.
Well, maybe it's your curls.
Me too. I used to think not so much, but now I've been to a lot of different countries. I think yes, we are tall and blonde.
I've not heard that one before. I mean, just going on that being cheap, that's definitely being Scottish. I think out of all the countries, our stereotype is probably known as being the most cheap. I like to say frugal. I want to learn more about this with regards to the Dutch people. I've never heard of that before.
You can go first.
Discounts, getting a good deal on things, that's very Dutch. Yeah.
Conscious about money?
I definitely think that we are cheap.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Sorry.
My father is Indonesian and my mother is Dutch, and the grandmother from an Indonesian side, she always told me like, hey, here you have €5, share it with your friends and go out, you know, and do things. And my Dutch grandma always said, here you have €5. Don't share it. Keep it to yourself.
I saw one time a shop in Rome. It was called Expensive. If they would put a shop in Amsterdam with the name Expensive, nobody would enter the fucking shop.
Going to a restaurant and buying wine, you don't look at which wines are nice, but which one is cheapest, has the most alcohol in it. And that's just a Dutch way of thinking.
That is
If
my
you say that
mentality
it's very
for sure.
expensive, then you are a bitch.
I definitely prefer to go Dutch, to split. It makes me feel more comfortable.
We like to go Dutch, that's a normal thing in the Netherlands.
In Dutch you have an app called Tikkie. And so if you buy something and it's about €20, then you send a Tikkie for €10 so the other one can pay.
It's the best thing ever, it's really convenient.
Okay, so tell me about that. That's one stereotype I had no idea. As I said, being Scottish, we have that stereotype. I wouldn't call myself cheap, but I'm definitely very frugal. like to be as sensible as I can with money. I don't buy expensive things. I like to save. I like to invest. Sometimes I like to treat myself, but most of the time I'll be very frugal. Maybe I think that's more because I grew up quite more on the poor side rather than anything else. But tell me, do you fall into this category? And yeah, the term going Dutch, I hadn't even heard that. We never use that in the UK. I never heard about it until I moved to Asia. People said, you want to go Dutch? And I was like, had no idea what they meant. So it's an interesting term that actually comes from the Netherlands as well. I don't think this is true.
No, it's not true.
No, it's not true.
Almost every Dutch person has tried weed once in their lifetime.
Yeah. When I lived in Holland, I never would get stoned. Yeah, when I was 15, then I tried it. By the time you're getting 18, 19, you're just over it.
My international friends smoke more than my Dutch friends, for sure.
Apparently the French are like, whoa, they're like way up top. And then the Netherlands is like, I don't know, number 6 or whatever.
When you're young, you try it out, but I'm not like that kind of person. And I think there's a lot of Dutch people that are the same in that way as well.
Yeah, so tell me about that. Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense with it being relatively legal in the Netherlands, that people outside of the country might think that. But yeah, that's something I did know. I did know before that people in the Netherlands, it's not like a huge deal. It's, I guess, as with anywhere else, there'll be some people who smoke, but it's not like everybody smokes or anything like that. And I guess it just shows you having things like that on your doorstep doesn't mean you're going to be like doing it all the time or anything like that. I guess the Dutch people are very responsible when it comes to that. But if you do like that, where do you think the best place to smoke and partake in that in the Netherlands is? What's your favourite coffee shop? What's your best experience doing that in the Netherlands?
Yeah, that's true. I'm here by bike.
Definitely.
I miss my bike.
I'm the weirdo who lived in Amsterdam for 4 years and didn't have a bike. And every time I say that, Dutch people are like, what's wrong with you?
So true.
Yeah.
We cannot get around it.
Couldn't be more true. Yeah, there are actually more bicycles in Amsterdam than there are people.
Once you turn 3-4 years old, you just get a bike for your birthday, or you have a bike already.
It's your first gift.
People are really surprised about that elsewhere, but we can actually drink alcohol and afterwards go home.
Yeah.
So watch out if you go there, because you'll be hit by a bicycle.
Oh, watch out for the tourists going on bikes.
Yeah, they're dangerous. They're very dangerous. Yeah.
And it's also cheap.
Very
Don't
cheap.
forget that.
Yeah,
Cheap and convenient.
Yeah, so tell me if that's the case for you. Do you cycle everywhere? Do you cycle to work? Is the stereotype that the tourists are the biggest problem with bicycles, is that true in itself? But yeah, again, like I've watched videos about how well the Netherlands is designed, how great the infrastructure for cycling is, so it just makes sense that everybody would do it. As I said, it's cheaper, it's better for the environment, better for your fitness. It would make no sense not to have a bike and cycle often, I would guess.
Oh, where you from? And the Netherlands, and say, oh, Amsterdam, oh, smoke weed, smoke weed.
It's about the weed smoking, that we are always stoned. That's getting annoying.
They always ask, where are you from? Amsterdam? No. Well, basically.
Never mind.
Never mind.
and then you say, no, I'm from the north of Holland. Oh, I love Amsterdam.
They think that the Netherlands is Amsterdam and that Amsterdam is the Netherlands, and there's nothing else.
True.
Yeah.
You from Amsterdam?
Yeah, tell me what ones of those do they annoy you? Does it annoy you when people only think about Amsterdam, when they think about Netherlands or about the weed and things? What's the stereotype or the misconception that would annoy you most? I can imagine that one about Amsterdam would be quite annoying as well if you're from like a beautiful smaller town. There's so many beautiful small towns and other great cities in the Netherlands as well, what I'm coming to learn. So I can imagine that would be quite annoying.
We really appreciate honesty. That we really think that that's the way to go.
Everyone thinks that all Dutch people talk English very well, but that's not true.
That we're not cheap.
But Dutch is Netherlands, and Deutsch and Dutch is German.
We are great campers. I would love to share this actually. A lot of people don't know this.
We're innovative. It is true.
Is that true? Did he say campers? Is there good camping in Netherlands? I like camping as well. I've not done it. I've actually did it here in Malaysia, but it was quite a nightmare with mosquitoes, the temperature. Just not the most comfortable experience. I would love to go camping in the Netherlands. I like it in Scotland as well. Is that a big thing in Netherlands?
We have a technical university in Delft, and they come up with some pretty smart shit every year. But no clue what.
I partnered up with two of my friends. One of them is right here, and one of them is behind the camera.
No,
I met them here in Lisbon while living my own digital nomad life. Hashtag digital nomad life. So what they do is something really cool. They organize digital nomads.
Okay. So yeah, cool. Interesting to learn a bit more about the stereotypes. Some of them, I never knew. Some of them, it makes sense why people might think some of those things. Some of them I'd heard of. So pretty cool to get those myths busted. Tell me what you think about them. Again, I'm quite interested to know what stereotype annoys you most. Which one do you think fits the Dutch people most, and are you happy with? And yeah, tell me what you think about this video. Thanks.